Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, or as always, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. This is going to be, I think, part 2 of the lift install. Now, I'm going to apologize from the start because it is really windy out here. It may be slowing down now, but we had some pretty good storms run through last night, and it still got some residual wind from that. But as you can see, otherwise, it's a pretty nice day. So I'm going to get to shaving this diff, and that's what pretty much this whole video is going to be. Now, I did already install the diff cross member in there. That's just pretty simple. If you can see it, it's right there. It's just literally just 2 bolts that go up in there, and it's there. You don't tighten them yet. At least that says what it says in the instructions. I think you got to wait till everything's up in there and then torque it all down. But like I said, today is going to be about this diff, and it's wrapped up in a garbage bag because, like I said, it was raining last night and I have really no other space to put it, so it was up under the truck in a bag, so nothing got in that vent tube. So let's get to it. I got my Sawzall. I'm going to cut off that top mounting point, which that's pretty simple, and then I'm going to see about trim the fins with this guy. I don't really have like one of the little hand grinders, and by the looks of it, I'm going to have to trim off quite a bit. So I think I should be able to manage it with this. And with that, I'm going to get my safety glasses once I start trimming that. But probably need it with that too, but always wear your safety glasses. Safety first, you know. But let's get to it. All right. And there's that. So that's kind of the easy part of this whole thing. The next is going to be shaving these down. Now, I've already kind of looked at it. The way it looks is you'll want it to be flush with this mount. And because the reason for that is the frame over there, where the old mounting point was for this, is literally flush right here. So, figure trim these ones maybe a little bit here, but definitely trim these ones flush with this, and it should be good. Maybe a little more than flush, just give it a little more clearance. But I might actually end up going to the store and just buying one of those little angle grinders, just to make it easier, because it terrifies me to cut into this. I don't know exactly how deep these are. They seem pretty deep, but with my luck, I'd use this little circle grinder and it would just get carried away and just go cut a hole in my diff. So thinking I might run to the store and do that before I get all that done. Definitely gonna clean all this up. Don't want any of those metal shavings getting in here, but I'm gonna clean this up real quick and then probably end up going to the store and getting one of those. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, so it is actually the next day. I went and got my grinder tool, which if you're gonna get one of those, get one with the longer lasting battery, because I've only been able to get about 2.5 to 3 minutes out of that thing per full battery charge, so it's kind of taking a while. I ended up getting this out, just try to cut some of these fins off. It's not the prettiest, but I think it's gonna work. I put it in the truck once already and figured out how to trim a little more of this off, so I think it should be good to go the way it sits right now. So as you can see, I've shaved off quite a bit. This whole thing kind of came out like to about here and then went up in. So a good little chunk taken off there. I think that should be perfect for what we're doing. So I'm gonna go try to put this back into the truck and see if she fits. Alright guys, so I have to apologize here just a little bit. It's a few days later, more like a week later, and I've actually got a little bit more done on the truck off camera. So I'm gonna kind of catch you guys up to speed on what's done so far. So as you can see, I got the new lower control arm on. The torsion bar is in, it's not tensioned yet. I do have both the cross members torqued down, so those are in place where they need to be. And I'll get up under here real quick and show you the diff, because I think that's where I left off in the last part. So I've got the diff in there. The bolt's tight. And like I said, this I don't think is going to be a problem. I've kind of spun the diff, done everything. I don't think that's going to be an issue. There's still plenty of clearance. Like, it's well over a finger of clearance, so between that and that. So I think that's going to be okay to leave. Like I said, I got my torsion bars back on. I got this screwed in right here to the new lower control arm, and then bolted here with that. And you can see a little bit of what I trimmed off here. So you start where this ear ends, these little dots here. You'll start with those round, then you want to trim about halfway back from that, and then like you saw in the beginning, you want to trim off quite a bit after that. And you can kind of see in the video, you'll want to go maybe about flush with the mount down there towards the back, and then up here, like I said, you'll just want to go about halfway to here on this diff. So I got the vent hooked back up. I haven't tightened the diff mounts yet. Was literally just about to do that, and then I still got to do the upper ball joint. Lower ball joint's fine because it came with a new control arm. And then I haven't taken the shock out yet just because that's kind of holding my caliper up there. And then I have the same exact thing done on the other side. This is the passenger side now. Like I said, I got a lot done kind of off camera, and that's kind of my bad, but like I said, scheduling, family things, you don't really think to pick up the camera and film everything. Plus, there's a lot of words said that can't go on YouTube, so that's kind of another thing. Didn't want to keep bleeping things out, because there have been a couple things that have been a bit of a pain. The control arms, putting them into the new mounts, that was a bit of a pain. I had to test fit the diff 2 times, so I put it in and I had to drive it right back out. That was a bit of an issue, but still not bad. I know this has taken me, well, I think this is my 2nd week now, but if you have the time, dedicate an entire weekend to it, I guarantee you could get this done, the front and the back, in about 2 days. So really not that bad at all. I really like this kit. Rough Country did a pretty good job, at least in my opinion. You guys might say otherwise, but I think they did a pretty good job designing this kit. You don't really have to cut too much. Like, you don't have to weld anything, so I didn't need like a welder. Didn't need special tools. It's all just right there. All you really need is a Sawzall, some sockets, and a grinder, and you can do this whole thing. All I'm doing now is putting everything back together. Hunker down with me. We're getting it done. It's super close, like so close it's bothering me that it's not done yet. So just like I said, hold tight with me and let's get back into the video. Alright guys, so it's been a few days now. Say a few days, it's been like a week or 2 now since what you guys just saw, and gotten a lot further on the truck. So let me show you. So the truck is on the ground under its own weight, lift under there. Everything in the front's torqued down. The torsion bars are actually, believe it or not, completely relaxed right now, just because I want to get the back in. The back is not in yet, but I want to get the back in before I try to get the measurement for the front, so that way I want this thing 100% level. I don't want it sitting like it's sitting now, or I don't want it like leaned forward. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not a big fan of the way it sits right now. Like I said, it's pretty good ways lower in the back. I'm kind of thinking it's actually going to sit up a little higher than what it is currently, just because I feel like when I get the back in, the back's going to be a true measurement of where it's going to sit, and then I can adjust the torsion bars accordingly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started putting the back on, and then hopefully today the lift, as far as like the parts to put it on, will be 100% done. Like I said, I still got the tires to put on. These are not the tires that are staying on. I'm keeping the same wheels, but the tires are changing out to 35s. And honestly, if I have to raise the torsion bars up a little bit to compensate for the back, I think it'll clear the bumper. But as of right now, it's rubbing with these. Now again, the torsion bars are 100% relaxed, so maybe it still has a little room to come up and clear that with the 35s, but these are nowhere near as big as the 35s and they're rubbing. So I think I'll still have to end up doing that thing where I trim just this off just a little bit right there, but no biggie. Still gonna run the 35s. It's still gonna look great. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started doing that, and then we'll be done with this thing, at least for the parts to go on it. Done. So let's go. All right guys, so as you can see, I'm in new clothes, and that's because it is the next day from the previous clip, and that is because I was having a time trying to figure out how to support the truck while I was going to drop the rear diff, because the way I had it, I dropped the jack all the way to the ground and the diff was still resting on the jack, and there was no way I was going to drop it enough to be able to get those blocks under there. But I figured it out, and the blocks are in. Everything's installed, torqued down. You see the shocks up in there. They look good. My old shocks were shot. The one, I think the driver's side, I pulled it off. It was all right. It had a little bit of spring to it still. Not spring, but you know, a little bit of absorption to it still. The other one I pulled out, went straight to the floor, never came back up. So probably a good thing I replaced those, but she's done. So I'll show you guys the whole truck. And Rough Country said it might settle, so it might get a little bit lower. I'm thinking the front probably will. The back will probably stay the same. I'm thinking the front will probably get a little bit lower, so I might have to end up cranking the torsion bars up just a hair. But I think right now, at least to me, it's looking pretty level, so here it is. And that's it, guys. I mean, not like crazy lift. It's not like a 9-inch or all that stuff, but I think it looks a lot better. Plus, I still haven't put my new tires on. Like I said, these are still the stock 275/60s. I'm gonna be putting 35s under them, so that's gonna bump it up a little bit too. So that's gonna be awesome. I still have to go get it aligned. Like I said, I just now got it down. She is 100% on her own weight. I can move it if I want to. And all that's left to do now is pretty much grease up the front lower control arms, because I'm not sure if they came pre-greased, but I'm gonna go ahead and grease them anyways. Put a couple pumps in there, and then I'll make the appointment for the alignment, and then she'll be good to go. And then obviously the tires. But that's pretty much it for the lift, guys. I know I didn't show a whole lot at all, but that's mainly because, like I said in the last clip, a lot of words were said. And I mean, I kind of really just want to touch up on the diff, mainly because that's the only question that I really had, and I know that a lot of people really had. But everything else, I mean, you can go on the Rough Country site, and it's like an 8-minute video, like I said before, but it shows you everything pretty much in detail. The only thing I really wanted to kind of go over was the issues that I had, and there wasn't very many. Like the torsion bars was a bit of a pain. Let's see what else. The upper control arms, getting those off was a bit of a pain, but like I said, saws off for the control arms, got that off in a jiff. And then air hammer for the torsion bars. Got those off way easier than I expected. And it wasn't even like a professional grade air hammer. It was like one of the little air hammers from like Central Pneumatic. It was a little handheld. I can actually show you. It was just one of these guys. And sorry for the flash. It's in my building, there's no lights in here. Those lights are there, but they have to be plugged in. But it's just this guy. So a little handheld, Central Pneumatic, hooked up to this air compressor. And that took care of it, got it off super, super quick. So really the only hang-ups I've had that's taken a minute was waiting on parts, and then the issue with the control arm where I didn't really think the bolts were going to break, but they broke, and waiting on that. Again, that's just waiting on parts. So I mean, all in all, like I said before, you could get this done in probably like a weekend if you have everything, plan ahead, and just really dedicate your time to it. Because honestly, like I said, I've only had time to come out and work on it like a couple hours, like a week really. And I mean, it's taken me about 4 weeks to get it all done, but it's really not that horrible. I'd probably say about a weekend of time to get all this done. But really, really not bad, and I love the way it looks already. That's not even with the tires on it. So I'm super, super pumped. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're excited to see it with the tires. Hopefully that'll be like next video, something like that. And let me know if my little tips to help you guys out, if you're doing this and you run into these issues, let me know if they were helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm almost to 1,400 subscribers, so that's really, really cool. Thanks to everybody that's subscribed and watching the channel. And I hope you guys stick around. And if anybody's new here and hasn't subscribed yet, think about subscribing, because we're nowhere near done with this thing. After I get all the looks out of the way, I'm planning on going motor, transmission, stuff like that, starting to do little upgrades like that. But as my channel grows more, the more I'll be able to do. So again, just thanks you guys for watching, subscribing, liking the videos. Really helps me out, kind of supporting me through all this. But before I get too sappy, again, I'm gonna end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more stuff like this. Go follow me on all my socials. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.